Welcome to Europe for us and for you. We have never been to Europe before traveling together. This is our first time here, and we're starting, this is the first day of our 6-month adventure here on this continent. Is it a continent?
Yeah, we call it continent.
Continent. I understand that.
Geographical area.
Yeah, geographical area, this region. So we're going to be here for about 6 months, and it's just going to be fun. I'm really excited. I don't even know where this is all going to go. Everything is really new, and you were just saying that, like, everything is, you've never seen this. Yeah, it's like being a baby.
Everything's amazing again, and it's just been really fun to just walk around. Like, you were saying we can see your breath. I think you can see it in the shot, I don't know. We saw it last night, and it was just like, whoa, like, I know that's not like specifically European or anything.
It's not.
But it was just like shocking, like, okay, we're definitely in Sweden. And when we arrived last night, our plane landed at 4, and it was pitch black outside.
Yeah.
And I mean, we knew that was a thing, but like when you see it and it hits you in the face, it's like, it's a thing for sure. Like, you can't ignore it.
It's already snowing.
Yeah, and we woke up this morning and there was snow on the ground. I was like, man, it's Swedish outside.
I get the impression that it doesn't snow as much as we think it snows in Sweden, but we haven't even been here for 24 hours. It's snowing.
I've had my eye out for wild hedgehogs too. I haven't seen any, but I expect that, like, I have to see one by the end of the day. Like, there's gonna be a hedgehog or a moose in my life, right?
Yeah,
like, that's how this works.
Definitely.
So anyway, we're gonna go and we're gonna explore the area around here in Stockholm, and for the next couple weeks we'll be here, and we're gonna just have a bunch of videos. I'm gonna stitch them all together and then share them with you guys, and that should be what you're watching right now. So
hooray!
Hooray! We walked about 10 minutes from where we're staying, and we have ended up in what I think is the old town of Stockholm, but maybe everything is old.
It all looks old. Yeah.
It's really cool though. There's like all these like cobblestone streets and a bunch of little shops and stuff outside, and we've come out for lunch, and we're both quite hungry because we really haven't eaten much, and we saw a sign.
I had some saffron bread this morning.
Yeah, you did.
It was real Swedish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had a croissant. I think I screwed up. I should have got the Swedish stuff. Croissant, I don't think it's so Swedish.
Yeah, no.
But it was good. And we were walking down this little street, and I saw the sign that said Swedish meatballs. So I'm thinking,
when in Sweden,
yeah. we may as well do the meatballs. So we busted up in this little cafe, and they brought us out a pretty delicious looking plate of Swedish meatballs. And right now they're steaming in front of me, and I'm gonna eat one with a fork. They didn't have any chopsticks in that little bowl. I don't really know what's going on with that. So here we go. Here's a meatball, and you put lingonberry on it, right?
I'm gonna try the lingonberry.
You're just gonna eat the lingonberry straight up.
Like, we've only had jam. Those are berries.
Like straight up berries, yeah.
They're gonna blow your mind.
We've gotten them in like IKEA and stuff in Japan, but I've never had a real Swedish meatball. This is my first experience.
Emma made you a meatball once. That was a Swedish meatball.
Emma did make us.
Yeah.
Dude, that is.
Let's try that.
That is amazing. Some lingonberry jams. It's not actually jams. It's just lingonberry.
So.
Dear God, it's really, really good. We made the right decision, I think.
Yeah.
Even though this is probably the most touristy, like, it was written in English, Swedish meatballs outside of the building.
Yep.
It's probably the most touristy thing ever, but I'm really quite happy with where we ended up.
This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to walk outside and feel like what I ate for lunch was the epitome of where I am, and done.
Having lived in Japan for like 6 years, I'm used to everybody assuming I can't understand them, but then being able to understand. Here it's the opposite. Everybody assumes that I can't understand them, and I don't know what they're saying. Luckily, everybody's English is, well, let's just say probably better than mine. So we've been in Sweden for 2 days now. Do you miss anything from Japan?
No, I'm too excited.
You're too excited?
Yeah.
I missed something. I miss heated toilet seats.
Oh yeah, I went through that this morning.
You go and sit down up in there, and it wakes you up.
Hold on. The tile of the floor is heated, so my feet are warm, but my butt is really, really surprised. Dude, what is up with these seagulls? This doesn't make any sense. I've never seen anything like this before. This is just a bunch of seagulls. Is that a gaggle? It's a gaggle of seagulls, and they are just floating around on the water, and they ride down backwards. They don't look where they're going. They're just riding down backwards. Why are they riding down backwards? And then they get out of the water and they fly around a little bit and they do nothing. Nobody's eating, Nobody's copulating. It is just flying. And skinny dip. Are they skinny dipping? Is this their equivalent of skinny dipping? Because it is just freeze your nuts off cold out here. It's crazy. They are insane. I don't understand how they can be getting in that water and then want to fly. In Sweden, tomorrow is Santa Lucia, which is like a festival of lights, or the saint of lights, I think.
Yeah, and I think the deal with it is that it's every year 11 days before Christmas. I think that math works out. Somebody's gonna call me out if I'm wrong, but it's basically a thing that happens before Christmas every year, and it's a Swedish specific holiday as far as I know. Of course, people do celebrate it outside of Sweden, but I think this is the origin of it.
I celebrated it outside of Sweden.
Yeah, we did. We've done this holiday in Japan a couple times, and I remember I had to wear a big kimono I had, and I was like a star boy or something one time.
And glitter girls? Are they glitter girls?
They have like candle, like a crown of candles, basically.
A crown of candles, yes.
Yeah,
and the boys have a dunce hat with stars on it.
I had this dunce hat. I was pretty pimp.
Yeah.
So we've been noticing that there's been imagery from this holiday popping up in the last couple days, because it is actually tomorrow. And like we were just at the store a minute ago, and the girl at the register was wearing one of the crown with candles on it and stuff. So it's pretty cool that we just landed here at this time to get to see this like hardcore Swedish thing go down. And we came over here into the old city again, and there were some girls just like singing carols like out in the street, and it was pretty majestic. It's like snowing, and just this whole atmosphere that they've got going on.
And their voices were...
Wow. The sound is bouncing off the walls, and it's like reverberating around in the city and stuff. It's a really cool thing.
Good acoustics.
Yeah, nice acoustics, old city. And we've come over to a cathedral that is a main part of it's kind of the center part of the old city from what we can tell. And there is going to be a performance tonight with a St. Lucia theme. Like they're going to be singing and stuff. I think it's like a choir. I don't anticipate being able to shoot any video in there, so this might just be, we're going to go in and then this is going to shut off, and then we're going to come out and tell you how cool it was. But that's the best we can do. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited.
You got to live your life.
I bought the tickets today. Somebody gave us a tip online, like one of our viewers mentioned it. Like, you got to check this out. So they have, the big celebration is tomorrow, of course, but all those tickets were sold out this morning. So I bought tickets, and I think one of them might be behind a pillar. So
all right.
we might be rock, paper, scissoring for the good view.
I think I'm gonna lose because everybody knows I throw scissors first.
Trusty rock. As anticipated, they didn't want us shooting any video, so we don't have any footage of the actual performance. However, you were allowed to shoot video before and after performance, so I can show you a little bit of what the inside of the amazing church looks like. And I mean, it's a huge cathedral, and it's very beautiful, and there's a lot of statues and stuff inside. But the main event was the concert, and it was borderline one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
It's like a festival of lights type of celebration, and it is set in this time of the year because in Stockholm here, like, there's not a lot of sunlight. So back in the day, like, the people were like, yo, we need to do something to get some light up in here. So they got this religious stuff going on, and the people that are part of the choir roll in with candles and stuff. And I'm not 100% sure because it's all in Swedish and I haven't looked into it deeply, but it seemed to me like it was kind of like a story that was taking place. And they had a point where they were singing Silent Night in Swedish, and they blew out all their candles. And the room is all very, very dark. And then I'm assuming that, like, St. Lucia comes and brings light. Is that kind of like the storyline that you think is going on? Because then they relit all their candles, and then they sang the song at the very end for her. and I think it was like the thank you for the light
It
song.
could have totally been that.
That is an
I was not wrapped in that blanket of amazingness, but
that is an American's interpretation of a Swedish concert that he could understand none of. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably look it up, and then we're gonna clarify that tomorrow, because we're gonna hopefully be doing some more stuff that's related to the holiday tomorrow.
Yeah.
And but just what did you think about what we just saw?
Intoxicating was the only word I could put on that. That was elevating.
It was the sounds of their voices and everything.
They made noises I didn't know were possible by people.
Yeah, it was just really stunning, and I feel like I'm really lucky to have just been able to come to this place on this day. So I felt lucky the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it was just a very lucky thing that I think I really feel fortunate.
Me too. Oh, I already saw the Japs. I almost bought you one. I was like, that's a real racist. Happy Santa Lucia Day! Are you excited?
I'm kind of excited.
What are you excited about?
Well, after yesterday when we went to the Cathedral and everything and saw the performance, I'm kind of interested in this holiday now.
It's about lights. That's pretty cool. That's something to celebrate.
Yeah, and the reason that it is when it is because it's like near the winter solstice. It used to be locked to the winter solstice back in the day, but because they changed calendars and stuff, it's not exactly on the same day, but it's close to the darkest day of the year. So it makes a lot of sense that they'd want to bring some candles up in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just found out how to put heat into our room, so I'm pretty excited about that.
It's like a thing you have to turn and then heat comes in.
Boats have weird
warmer.
heating systems that we didn't know about.
I don't know if they know yet.
Speaking of which, we haven't even shown
we
our
haven't
boat.
shown that. We haven't shown that yet, but we're staying on a boat this whole time that we're in Stockholm, which is really cool. Speaking of boats, we took a boat over here. The boat that is kind of pulling away. No, it's still sitting there. I looked in the screen. It looked like it was moving, but yeah, the one that's right there. And we rode that for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and we've come over
It's like $1 a minute.
Yeah, the boat ride was like $5. It's really quite, I was kind of like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
You were surprised.
It's okay. And we've come over to
Skansen.
Skansen, which is kind of like, apparently like an open air museum, sort of. I read a little bit about it on their website, and it seems to me like it's going to be like a real Renaissance fair or something. Like it has like a little village and stuff that is somehow like old school Sweden and things like that. So yeah, I don't know exactly what we're getting into, but there's also a theme park and a zoo.
Yeah, I did. And an aquarium.
Oh, is there an aquarium too?
We're getting aquatic. We're getting mammals. Are mammals the only thing that are at the zoo? Are there non-mammals at the? There's reptiles.
Yeah, there are.
My
There's a
bad,
reptile
reptiles.
house.
I forgot about you.
But the real reason that we've come over here is everybody we've asked, like, we're like, where do we go for a St. Lucia
Day celebration?
Everybody keeps telling us to come over here. So you found something that's happening here, right?
Yep.
And we're gonna go and see what's happening, right?
Yeah, we're gonna see it. But we gotta find it first.
The boat's leaving now.
Bye bye boat. Thinking about blinking. Not thinking about blinking. I blinked.
Mama.
Can Sweden get more magical? I don't really know. I feel like we're in Disneyland, but I know that we're at like a special thing today, but it just kind of feels like Sweden has been its own Disneyland since we got here. I've been on boats and it's been snowing and we've eaten some meatballs and we haven't really made any effort to do anything magical. It's all just there.
I've got high hopes that we're gonna find a hedgehog soon. We've been in Skansen now for, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. And it is, like we said, it's a theme park. I don't know if it's a theme park. It's to call it an open air museum that is got little nuggets of fun is probably the best way to explain it. It does have a bit of a Renaissance fair feel, but since it's permanent, it doesn't feel like, you know, ghetto. It actually feels like you're actually in an old school Swedish town. And it's kind of magical because we got lost in the woods for a minute, and
we did get lost.
Then there's like a little square where they can have like a Christmas market and things like that. And it feels, I don't know exactly the time period they're aiming for because there are like old school gas pumps up in some places, but then there's like barns and stuff. So I'm not sure if it's like aiming for super old school or just like pre-war or whatever, but regardless, it is got a pretty, I guess, authentic feel. I wouldn't know how to find a more authentic feel without a time machine, I suppose. And we're quite lucky, I think, because we're here during the winter, and I think that magnifies the magic and cuts back on the people, because there's not very many people here despite it being the St. Lucia Day like celebration. And they have a whole bunch of special stuff that's going on. So we saw the choir is just like walking through the town and stopping and singing, and then they move on to another area and they stop and sing. And they're taking like this path through the village that gets them to this little church that's not a magnificent looking church like the church we were at last night, more of just like,
no, it just felt like a
homely
Swedish village.
Yeah.
Church.
And they had the same type of celebration and singing that we saw last night, but it was done by much younger people, I believe. And it was a different vibe. They did the same thing basically, where they all came in and they sang the same type of music and some of the same exact songs. But it didn't have the punch that I felt last night, because it did feel a little fabricated in comparison. Like you kind of feel like you're in a little theme park and it's kind of like this. It didn't feel quite as like authentic, but it was still like, it was a cool thing to see. I am glad we did go and see the place last night though, because that was unbelievable.
That was unbelievable.
And now I don't know really what else we're gonna do. There's a bunch of...
I'm taking you to a reindeer.
There's reindeer. I'm still on the look for a hedgehog, man. And I see a teepee. Why is there a teepee? Turns out it's the same shape as a teepee, but it's not exactly a teepee, and it was used by a nomadic peoples up into the early 1900s. And it makes sense, I guess, to have something shaped like this if you have a snowy area, because your roof doesn't collapse.
That'd be awesome if you turned it around and I was actually wearing one of them, but I'm not.
We're getting close to hedgehogs.
Apparently, like back in the day, they used to have like children's zoos that included cats and cocks and rats and other animals. This feels kind of out of place here, but I think if you bring kids to Skansen, they're gonna want more than just... Look, I'm trying to do something here. They're gonna want more than just like an outdoor look at the old-timey stuff. I used to go to Williamsburg in Virginia, and it was pretty boring for younger kids. There was a little bit to do, but I don't remember any animal parties there. So they've got a little animal party inside. There's also an aquarium. I don't know where that is, but that definitely doesn't seem like that was an old school thing. I really don't think so. Yeah, he said it best.
In this little animal house, a lot of the stuff makes sense. Like they've got fish and they've got mice and they've got guinea pigs and stuff. But the cat area has got me a little bit baffled. They've got this like apartment building, basically like the stage of an apartment setup. And then the cats are just like sitting in the farthest corner away from people as they can possibly get, of course, because they're cats. But the part that trips me out the most is look at this thing. This is a machine that's on the cat room is on the other wall, right? And it says, here you can give your pacifier to the cats, like a pacifier, like a kid's pacifier. And it's got this little like door that you can put it in, and then you dump it down there, and then this whole thing starts turning and like cranking and like you know that craziness that you would get from like a, you know, like in the Goonies, like when they open their door, it makes all those machines. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so church good to go. So this like weasel is riding up this thing, and then he dumps the pacifier. If you put it in there, and then it falls through the wall. And then you go to the other side, and if I put a pacifier in there, it falls in this little basket. Why are we giving cats pacifiers? Did I miss something? What's going on here?
And the baby wants its pacifier back. We've recently asked a member of the staff why the cats need the pacifiers, and she explained that they don't need the pacifiers, they don't want the pacifiers, they don't care about the pacifiers. The reason that system is there is a strange like coming of age for young children. They come in here, and I don't know if people know that the pacifier situation is happening, but the kids come and they put their pacifier in the machine, and it's kind of like saying goodbye to Binky. He's gonna go off to the cats. You're growing up. You don't need it anymore. Instead of just taking the pacifier away from the child and saying you're grown up now, you know? So it's giving them kind of an activity to make that change. And I don't even know what to say about that. Cats don't want them.
Getting closer to hedgehogs.
Sup, girl? A boy? That's a boy thing.
I think this might be my first reindeer experience. Like, to see a live one.
I'm trying to eat one.
I saw one on a menu last night. That might be a thing.
Yeah. So I came over here because the map said there'd be a moose. And I was really excited about that. I was making Eric guess what animal we were gonna find, and then we found nothing. So we were on the hunt for the elusive moose now.
Katie has found a thing. And she's gonna be pretty happy. Hey Katie, what's your favorite animal?
It's the bar. They're sleeping right now though. They're hibernating. What is the moose doing? Is the moose hibernating? Are they sharing a room? Aww.
We hit up another Lucia festival, and it's kind of cool. They said that this one is themed around how it would have been done in the 40s. So we went into like this little barn, and they kind of set the stage and said that like maybe you're like in the middle of Sweden and you work in a factory and everybody is like, you know, factory workers, and your company is like set up the Lucia
play for the year.
And this one was more of a play in the fact that
I was kind of happy about that.
Yeah, me too.
We don't need concerts on concerts.
Concerts on concerts. Yeah, they did similar music, but there was comedy.
It was really funny.
They had these two guys that they said were goblins, but they weren't. They didn't. I thought like a dude with a mask was gonna come out, but it was just like
there was a guy that was in blackface.
He was. The blackface guy was a chimney sweep, dude.
Oh, well.
So yeah, and all of the characters and stuff that were in the play were like interacting with each other, and they had a script a bit. And well, I'm sliding down a hill right now.
There's an owl.
And is there an owl?
Yeah. And he just went.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's big.
There.
I heard him again.
He sounds really close.
I think he's in the corner up there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we saw a really good play, and it was interesting.
Hold on. I don't think they can see the owl.
Comedy.
He's like up in there. He's owl colored though, so he's hard to see.
Yeah. Are they camouflaged?
They're a bit camouflaged. Camouflaged. Owl-flaged.
Animal-flaged.
And
Get off track there.
The play. Yeah, the owl like hooted and like really got distracted. The play, it was funny, like they interacted with the audience.
They were blowing out each other's candles.
They're blowing out each other's candles and running around and stuff.
They gave out cookies. I did not get a cookie.
And Once again, it was like a no cameras type thing, which is really cool. But this place is really nice because they do the whole performance, no cameras. You're not allowed to do anything, and then they leave and come back, and they let everybody record like one song.
And the song that they did was my favorite Lucia song so far.
So you got to see it here. See it
so I got to
twice.
see it again, and it was really good.
I think that's a really cool. Compromise. Like it lets everybody get a little bit of footage, but doesn't like disturb the whole thing. It's really cool. So good work, Skansen. That's a really cool policy.
Gaggle, gaggle! They're just walking the streets. Wolverines were apparently a thing back in the day. They'd be taking your ducks and your chickens. That's why he had a snack. He's taking everybody's ducks and chickens. We've got some over here that he could come and peruse if you'd like. Looking in the water, bitch is crazy. Come on. Getting the permission. She's into it. I can't see them in the reflection, so I won't be able to tell when they start humping. Why are you laughing? Were they humping?
Yeah. So that was our day at Skansen. We figured out about halfway through that a lot of it is closed on the weekdays during the winter.
Yeah, there's like little shops that you can go into and certain other things that I don't know if they're shops or if they're just like a theatrical part of it that you can watch.
But they weren't operating today, which is fine because we were there just for the St. Lucia stuff, so it's...
I was there for the snow.
I was there for the Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, the Wolverine.
And the sheep.
What about the gaggle? And the sheep.
The sheep getting down.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool little place. I would like to go back maybe in the summertime where it's a little warmer to walk around and everything is opened and just get a chance to check out like the atmosphere and everything that it has to offer. But yeah, I think if you're swimming through this area, it's a little bit kitschy, but it seemed like a pretty cool little place. And it was, how much did it cost to get in? Like 15 USD about?
Yeah.
So it wasn't ridiculous. It wasn't like robbery, but it seems like
you could spend a whole day there doing stuff,
especially
for real,
if things were
especially
opened.
on the weekends.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, did you have a good Lucia?
Yeah.
Hey, you know how it is. It's your boy Eric. We on the hunt for moose. It's a moose hunters. What up?
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's your boy.
Welcome to our ship. This is our first hotel on our trip here in Europe, and I decided, you know, we're kind of going to go all out because there's a ship as an option. So yes, we are going to stay on that ship. Let's go inside. It's windy. It's a real ship. Immediately it's kind of got a little like vintage, obvious nautical feel. Like you could totally be a ship person, but it also has a Thanksgiving feel to it as well.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like I feel a little bit like I've stepped into Grandma's house, but Grandma was a sailor back in the day. That's how I feel about this. Many rooms. Whoa, more stairs than expected.
That's a little bit of an up that you don't expect to go down.
We're in 121. Is your head okay?
Yeah, I think I hit my head on the...
He's too big to be a sailor.
Yes, I am way too big to be a sailor.
This is our room. It is not huge at all. I mean, the bed does take up most of it. And yeah.
It's not too bad. Like,
we're not knocking into each other most of the time.
Can you grab the camera?
Yeah.
I can't touch. Oh wait, well, I can touch that, but like that in a little bit of an angle. Okay, I can touch both sides. It's really not that big. But what's cool about this is there's two beds. There's this bed, and then we've got a bunk bed that we can put it down. It's really heavy. And then
we have less room.
But more sleeping room. The thing that blows is like this isn't long enough for me, but if I'm down here, it's not quite tall enough either. It's a bit like being in a coffin. And every time I put my knees up when I roll over at night, it's like donk. I'm thinking you can probably feel
4 o'clock in the morning, I'm waking up to those knees.
I'd say 9 out of 10 times it's my knees and not my head, but every once in a while, it's definitely my head.
I always assume it's your head.
The boat has also got a really nice lounge area upstairs that is pretty cool for being able to relax, but it doesn't have a lot of area for like a desk and stuff to sit at and work at, and
we
that's
have a
something
little
we
desk
kind of
in
need.
here, which is all right, but you know, if you just sit here and you're cramped in this room all day, it's not really that exciting. So it's nice to go up when you're in the lounge and be able to see the view of Stockholm. Our location is freaking ridiculous. The Lager Fjord. I tried my best. It didn't work out. That's the name of the boat. The boat is actually situated on the north side of Sodermalm.
It's like a lake, right?
Sodermalm. yeah, it sounds like just some sort of drink. It's located on the north coast of that, but we can see the south coast of North Stockholm. We're in Stockholm here, but Stockholm's up there too.
Yeah.
And
geographically complex.
Right on the edge of that south coast is the city hall, which is hugely iconic for Stockholm. So every morning I'm waking up and I'm going out there, and when you wake up in the morning, it's dark. So I go and
it's 3 o'clock right now. It's almost dark.
Get my breakfast, some coffee. I start working, and I just look outside, and it's amazingly beautiful, and you can't believe where you are. Stunning. So the location of the boat is awesome. The feel of the boat is really cool. Just like, you're really on a ship.
You're on a boat and it's moving right now, just a little bit. So like when you're sleeping and stuff, I like that, like falling asleep to like a slight like rocking foot sensation.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's really super duper clean too.
Yes, like, they do a really good job of cleaning. This may be the
cleanest accommodation I've ever had. It's unbelievably clean. The bathrooms are super duper clean, and the bathrooms also had heated floors, so that the floors are never wet from people taking showers.
Unless, like last night when I sprayed it outside of the shower on accident and got my entire self wet.
You did that?
Yeah.
Were you dressed?
I was bad at showering. I was dressed. I want to show a few more things about the room.
Oh, yeah, okay, word.
All right. Spin it around.
All right, hold on. I gotta move so I don't bonk her in the head.
Big thing, porthole. Now, in all honesty, we have this open because it cools down the room. If you close this, it won't allow this cold temperature outside to come in, and it'll start getting hotter in here. So you might be wondering where the heat's coming from. Let me show you where the heat's coming from.
This might be hard to see.
This may be very hard to see.
Oh, you come down here.
There's a little hole down here.
Yeah.
And when we came in here previously, it was all the way closed. So no heat was coming out, but you open it up, spin, 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 and you can see there's just air, and it's just pumping in now. It's going to be a little oven in here if I leave that open, and we have left it open, and it gets so hot to where you almost can't even sleep. It's so warm. The first night when we had it closed, we were freezing to death. So we have to find that happy medium, and that's a bit difficult when there's no, you just spin it to the correct area that you want it.
But it's been fairly comfortable, so it hasn't been too big of a deal.
Yeah, super duper clean and very comfortable.
I think.
Any other things? Oh, the less Mariah Carey would be nice.
Yes. It's
Christmas.
A bit much.
I never realized how much Christmas makes me hate Mariah Carey.
They have like a little restaurant.
We've been calling it the discotheque.
Because they are constantly playing like Mariah Carey music that's like infused with dubstep.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And it's just like
all I want for
And
Christmas.
it's so terrible. It's like the worst thing I've ever heard.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I can't work with it all.
Yeah, you can't sit up there. And it's a night. What kind of is a bummer is that's the area where there's like a table and stuff where you could sit and you could use a computer and stuff comfortably outside of your room, but like you can't take it. So there's also 2 more boats, and one of the other boats has got a kitchen in it that's like public for everybody, and that's pretty nice. That's really
like
nice.
The kitchen.
It's a really nice kitchen. It's got huge countertops. It's got lots of refrigerators, and you can work in there. Yeah, it has an oven. Katie made a lasagna.
I used the oven twice. I didn't make a lasagna from scratch. It's just store bought.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you ovened a lasagna. I was impressed.
I ovened. Yeah, maybe we could show the bathroom, or no? Was it not worth it?
I'll just put overlays in from before.
Yeah. So the bathroom is kind of nice. The toilet flushes like an airplane toilet. You can hear it throughout the entire boat.
Yes.
Like it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You had to go pee. Everybody.
And I guess the other thing other people might be curious about is just the cost. And you said it was like 50 USD a day.
52 USD a day.
Which is not ridiculously cheap, but considering the location it's like walkable to downtown Stockholm, and the old city is like a 5-minute walk from here. And
so
we're on a boat.
Located. Centrally
and it's
located.
Super clean.
It's on a boat. It's super quality for what you're getting is pretty high.
Yeah, I'm happy. I think it's a pretty good price. Like considering what you would pay for like business hotels in Japan and stuff, and comparing
it's
that,
cheaper
there's
than
like
business hotels.
Yep.
And it's cooler, way cooler.
It's one of the coolest places we've ever stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the name of it again? Do you remember?
Raga Fajud.
Y'all doing good work.
Yeah. Today is a day of recommendations. We were at the hotel, and I just started bugging people, which is kind of normal. And Gaston, who works at our ship, he told us that we should go to the Sofo area and gave us some recommendations on restaurants and things like that. So we've kind of come over to the Sofo area. I don't know if we're necessarily in it because we haven't gone south of a particular road. Yeah, but we're close to it, and as we're walking down the road, we hit a soda shop. It's called Soda Nation, and so we came inside, and it's sodas on sodas, and not like typical sodas, very strange sodas and nostalgic sodas, things that I haven't seen in forever and things I've never seen before. We decided to go with something traditional for Sweden during this time, which is julmust. And I don't know exactly how to describe it because I haven't really tasted it yet, so maybe I should just go ahead and try it. It kind of smelled a bit like a beer, but with a grape twist. A very light kind of soda taste to it. It's got like good bubbles, but the flavor's not intense, and it has a grape soda-y-ness to it with a beerness. He was explaining to us like where this had come from, and it does kind of have like a beerish kind of background, and I see that flavor. But I was surprised that I'm getting grape out of it at all. You have to try this. It's just kind of weird.
Katie was saying this is like a traditional Christmas drink. And we've been told that it is a Christmas thing and then sometimes an Easter thing as well, but they just changed the label so that it's acceptable. But it's like a big taboo to drink it outside of those 2 times. So we're lucky to be in Sweden during Christmas time, or, well, I guess Easter would have been okay as well, but we're lucky to be here for Christmas so we get to try this and not look like savages. So you're thinking grape. The carbonation is pretty strong. The flavor is not like an explosive flavor. It's not like a really full flavor. I kind of see what you mean by the grape soda thing. Like grape soda is like almost got like a dry, I don't want to use the texture kind of in your mouth. And it kind of has a little bit of that as well. This is kind of like apparently the gourmet version, I guess you could say, of this drink. And in supermarkets, you see a brand that is like the Coca-Cola version, like the version that is really, really common. So maybe we'll grab one of those at some point and try it and then compare and contrast, see what's up. But maybe we ruin that for ourselves.
Yeah, I think we started high. I'm a bit worried about that now.
Jumping into the gourmet version first and then going backwards might have been the wrong way to go.
Oh, we're going to get gritty.
We're going to get gritty?
I think I understand understand what Eric was saying about the texture of the grape. I don't know if this is exactly what he's thinking, but when I burp, it's all grape. Like, it really just is a grape soda-ness that I remember from when I was little. So that's what I think you're talking about. I don't know.
You got some dank burps, y'all.
No, I got some grape burps.
One of the first things that I noticed when we got here a few days ago was a lot of people riding these bikes with this flatbed in the center of it. And I don't know if it's being designed for something specific, like is this like some specific like industry's bicycle? Or is it just like if you need to haul some stuff, you get one of these flatbed bicycles? Regardless, I kind of want to try to ride it because it seems like going around corners with that might be a challenge I'd like to see if I can actually pull off.
You have to find the fast food in every country that you go to so that you can enjoy it. We are at a restaurant called Max, and essentially it is their McDonald's. The name is not very far off, so you won't get lost. You'll find it. When we walked in the door, I was quite surprised to see they have these little kiosks that say Express above them, where you can just make your order here with a computer instead of talking to humans. Because humans, it's just difficult. Can be overwhelming. So we're just going to talk to this burger, and we're going to order some food. It's already looking pretty good. I went through the other day, I was here, and I seriously just looked at the menu, and I was surprised to see veggie. But one of the things that is very common here is vegetarian options. And maybe that's happening in America, but it's certainly not happening very much in Japan. So there's lots of vegetarian options, like cheese sandwiches. They're just straight up cheese sandwiches. I've seen that in many places, so I'm gonna choose mine. I don't know if I'm going veggie or not on this, because maybe the burger's what you should try when you come to their burger shack. I don't know.
Flipping through that menu, there is like a million items on this menu. And I'm not sure if it's like that at all burger joints and it's just the fact that you can see it all spread out on this machine now, or if they just have a lot of options. I'm kind of leaning towards they just have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And part of it was that they had a lot of stuff that was like spread out for vegetarianism, and I think there were some that were labeled as vegan as well.
Vegan and lacto-ovo. What does it mean?
Well, we know the ovo part.
Eggs, and milk.
I'm assuming the lacto is the part like lactose, but they had cheese with them, so it wasn't like no lactose is what I could tell.
Yeah,
I'm not sure on that, but it was just like a lot of different variations of things. And I saw a burger in there, like they had one with no bread because of people that are trying to avoid carbs and stuff like that. So it was like a really, really extensive menu. So we flipped through there for a while, and I ended up just landing on the standard burger, the most standard one I could like pretty much come up with, and it is like just a bacon cheeseburger. And Katie picked this up a minute ago and said it was heavy.
It wasn't heavy, it's wide.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's wide. It's a little heavy too. It's a little girthy. And it looks like a solid like burger. To me, based on what I'm looking at, I'm thinking more along the lines of Burger King than I am McDonald's. Like
you
it
gotta
looks
check
like
that bacon.
Yeah, and she's been like, is the bacon floppy? So we're gonna see. It's a little bit floppy, Katie.
But is it crisp?
No. It's just chewy bacon. It's really good flavor though.
Okay.
Like it's a very strong
hammy.
bacony flavor. It's not ham, it's bacon. All right. So let's get up in here. Got some onion, got some tomato. It's just, your normal burger stuff. And the mystery here is there's gonna be a little bit of sauce on the bottom there. And I'm gonna guess maybe like a Big Mac sauce or something.
I think it is their Max original
Oh, the Max original sauce?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Katie was saying...
Get some cheese on your crotch.
Katie was saying, you look big in this shot because I'm closer to the camera. I'm like munching this burger, all huge, taking up everything. It's like the Death Star. So the burger patty is char grilled. Is that the word? Char grilled? Mm-hmm. And it's got a good flavor to it. It's like got that little like crispy-ish burnt flavor to it. It definitely is way past McDonald's in like the league of burger that you get.
Yep.
It's leaning more towards like a Carl's Jr. style burger or like a Burger King style burger, but like a clean Burger King, like a Burger King from Japan.
It's got that char-grilled? Char-grilled?
Yeah.
It's got that charred taste, but it still has like this is not the best meatness to it. I would say overall the flavor kind of steps out of fast food for me a little bit.
It's pushing it. It's still in fast food town, but it's pushing into like gourmet burger, I think.
But it also might be that, just like yesterday, we were talking about, we've been hitting a bunch of flavors that we have no idea about. Japan is not flavor city. Japan is made frickin' well, and there's a lot of different flavors.
Spices and stuff. And this is a bit of a journey down flavor town. The cheese was pretty good too. Japanese cheese tends to be, even at convenient or at fast food joints, tends to not have a lot of punch to it. And this cheese on a burger, of course.
This is cheese. Cheese in Japan is not cheese.
It actually tastes like cheese. It's a pretty good burger. I'm actually not that disappointed at all. I think it's good. And did you get anything interesting? I didn't even see.
I got the green burger.
I don't
know what that means.
Did you get that just because you didn't know?
Yeah, and even with the picture, I couldn't figure out what it was.
Its presentation is not quite as good as my burger was. It's kind of falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Let me just pan up here and we can get a little better look.
Oh, it's really falling apart.
Yeah, it is falling apart.
And I asked for jalapenos. They went to town on that.
Oh, did you add those?
And, yeah.
So you added those special?
Yeah. Wow. A lot of sauce.
Yeah.
Good Lord, a lot of sauce.
Is this that cheese stuff?
It's not that cheese stuff. I don't know what it is.
It's green.
I see the green.
Oh, yeah, there's like little green dots inside of it. That's pretty interesting. Huh.
I'm not really sure. So I'm just gonna bite into it.
You're losing stuff. You got some jalapenos on your crotch.
Kind of like a potato-filled patty, like croque.
It looks pretty gnarly, dude.
Deep fried with vegetables inside. So there's some green.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call it green and not like potato.
Is that all it is, do you think? Is this potato stuff?
It's just like croque. It's like deep fried potatoes. It's like a hash brown with vegetables in it. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's all right. I like the bread. I'm excited about the bread because the bread is different than what I would expect.
Do you mind if I have a bite?
Yeah, go ahead. It will.
This is like
dangerous.
the messiest thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Here, you had to pay extra for the sauce.
The sauce is it's very Thousand Islandy, the same way the sauce in Big Mac would be.
I feel like if you get fries, you should get at least one sauce. You shouldn't have to pay for extra sauce.
I didn't see a way to get ketchup or anything.
There was none.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the Max sauce. These are the Max French fries.
I prefer a fry that's like skinny and small like this.
It depends on my mood. I like a wedge. Yeah. And we ordered a milkshake, but the milkshake machine was broken, so I talked a lady into giving me a raspberry pie instead.
And then she was like, "Do you want ice cream on it?" And we were like, "Yeah." And then she went away, and then she came back, and
she came back.
The ice cream machine is broken.
Because you can't have a milkshake.
So should we bust into this now?
Yes.
Okay. So she put cream on top, which I think is a good consolation prize if you can't have
ice cream.
Ice
sorry.
cream, yeah.
Did you know that raspberry is really big here in Europe?
No.
Like their frozen fruit that they sell the most of is raspberry.
I'm okay with that. I like raspberries.
Yeah.
All right.
It just looks like white.
Yeah, it does. You can't see so well here, but there is a cream on the bottom. It's warm. She microwaved it.
Yeah, she did microwave it.
That's pretty tasty.
Yeah, this is the cream. It's custard.
Custard. That's a good.
Custard at the bottom, raspberry on top, a crust, and some cream.
It's pretty good, man.
That takes the McDonald's apple pie is its own thing.
That's way better than McDonald's apple pie.
It's way better than it, but.
So how much did all this cost? Because I think people are probably going to be curious about that.
$164 total.
$164 total. So let me use I'm calculating here, y'all. $164 is $19.28. So
we just spent $20.
Yeah, a bit on the expensive side, but they did have some burgers that were cheaper. You could get for like $2 or so, like a cheeseburger style burger.
You don't have to get a meal.
Yeah, and we got the meal, and I probably would have normally gone without the fries, but I'm glad we got them because I actually think they're pretty good. This is actually pretty good. Coming from two Americans, this is better than McDonald's for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Something we haven't seen in a really long time is Christmas tree lots. I haven't even seen like a Christmas tree in a really, really long time. Not in the wild. And here in Stockholm, they actually just have a lot of impromptu, random places they'll be selling trees. Like, it's kind of in a little park, and they've just put up all the little Christmas trees that they have. And we've seen them in several other different places that they don't look like sales areas. They're just Christmas tree areas now, because it's Christmas. Today is really, really cold. We're in the negatives all day, and that is pretty foreign to me. We were walking to a flea market, and we decided just to walk through a mall so that we could warm up. On top of that, awesome girl at the mall is giving out Glögg, which is it's a spiced wine of some sort. And sometimes it's alcoholic, sometimes it's non-alcoholic. When it's non-alcoholic, they can give it out at the mall for free. And that's the best way to get it. Well, there's also alcoholic. That's also another good way to get it. This one is really cinnamony and also really sweet.
We mostly got this because it's warm. But it's something that we have had before, another Swedish thing that we've been introduced to by our Swedish friends back in the day in Japan. But when we had it then, I think it was alcoholic, and this is not. So I don't know what it's made out of, if it's wine, but without alcohol. It's pretty damn tasty.
Yeah.
It's really, really sweet though. She gave us like little gingerbread cookies, and we killed those already, but it was a really good combination.
We dipped them in the wine.
We did.
From now on, we should always find wine dippables. What kind of wine would an Oreo go in? I farted.
I know. Anybody watching this probably knows that's how dank it is. Dag girl.
Swedish meatballs! Oh, a migration is happening.
A migration?
Yeah.
Where do you think they're going?
That direction. Hit it!
I can see them right there. There they go.
Hope you've enjoyed the first video from our European series in Stockholm. There'll be more videos from Sweden as well as other countries on their way. If you'd like to help us make more videos, please check out Patreon. And a big thank you to all the people on Patreon who helped make this possible.